Star Wars. Today we're talking about Star Wars. How do you feel about Star Wars?
I quite enjoy it.
Are you as hyped as I am for the new Star Wars?
Probably not.
I don't know how hyped I am. We'll get into it. Okay.
How hyped are you?
I'm actually very hyped. I wasn't as up until a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't as hyped, and then I watched the trailers again, and for some reason I got really excited for it. Like the fanboy in me started jumping up and down. So yeah, I'm quite excited for it.
Since you got Battlefront 2, the bad game.
Yes, that I said was pretty okay.
Battlefront 2.
Oh, got him there.
Got all of them.
Yay. Anyway, let's first talk about. So this episode, basically what we're going to do is talk about everything Star Wars. Just get our opinions of Star Wars out of the way. Everybody loves Star Wars. So do we. But do we love it as much?
Some people.
Except for some people, including our aunt for some reason. She doesn't know what Star Wars is. Let's get into it. Not important.
But she likes Star Trek.
Yes, the TV show.
I don't like Star Trek at all.
I actually like Star Trek.
I actually don't dislike Star Trek.
Did you watch any of the new movies?
Fine. They were...
You didn't watch a single one.
Completely not so bad.
You definitely should watch all three of them. Okay.
Definitely won't.
Okay, great. How about first we start off. This is totally unexpected and not totally written down in a plan that I wrote down yesterday. But how about we first talk about our history with Star Wars?
Listen.
Yeah.
I watched the first. I watched all 6 in a marathon, in a 6-week long marathon, when I was about 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Must have seen them before, but have had no memory of them. Also, my favorite Star Wars thing ever is probably the Force Unleashed game on the PS2.
Okay.
It's absolutely fantastic. Story-wise,
I'm 100% sure that you would find it not as great if you played it now.
Oh yeah, nothing holds up.
Except Downhill.
Nothing ever holds up.
Except Downhill. Calling it. Downhill is the best game of all time.
Okay.
After Battle.
You know, there's actually another game like this, but it's
Downhill, called Downhill.
But
it's like
it's with snowboards. No, it's exactly the same, but it's with snowboard. Wow.
Anyway, Star Wars.
Star Wars is I like it.
Star Wars is you like it.
Yeah.
So the first time you remember watching Star Wars was in a 6-week marathon, and how did you like it then?
I liked the prequels. I also liked the originals.
Wow. So descriptive.
No,
Thank you for that.
No,
it's not like we're on a podcast.
No, I loved it. Since I'm a great nerd fan of all things comic book, sci-fi, yeah. Unrealistic.
When was that? How old were you?
I was like 4 to 6 years old.
4 to 6 years old.
Something like that. And I loved it. It was one of my favorite things.
Okay.
I was a big fan of Spider-Man 2 is still one of my favorite movies, and it still holds up when I watch it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love. The things I loved, it's Harry Potter, it's Lord of the Rings.
And then Star Wars was
that era.
Yeah, I feel like Star Wars was a perfect fit then, even though the prequels aren't so good, which we will get into. But how I got into Star Wars was...
Oh, nice transition,
segue,
dude.
baby. Since I'm the host now, I gotta take the lead. Anyway, how I started watching Star Wars was I had it on the computer, and my dad had all 6 of them on the computer. And literally, for a period of time, I would watch it every day. Like, I would just go there on the computer. I wouldn't understand anything. I just, I don't even remember it clearly. Like, my dad tells me this all the time. Like, I would just stand there and watch these, the Battle of Hoth. That was my favorite thing. Like, it's just these huge explosions and starships and whatever. And that's how I fondly remember it. And now watching the old movies, it always, brings childhood memories. I really love it. I really love those old movies. And, like, it's weird because this movie from the 70s is my favorite childhood movie. I don't know, I just love them.
What's your favorite one, by the way?
My favorite Star Wars movie? Definitely episode 1 of the prequels.
Mine's Empire Strikes Back, because it's everyone's. It's clearly
Empire Strikes
the best.
Back. That's episode 5, right?
That is not
It's episode 5. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think it's my favorite movie because of the Battle of Hoth. Like, I just remember that as the biggest battle. And looking back to it, it doesn't look that good as I remember it, but it was awesome. It was just the coolest thing. And also with playing the Lego Star Wars video games and doing the Battle of Hoth on the Lego Star Wars video games, it was the coolest thing ever.
You know what I really like, since you've mentioned the Phantom Menace? You know what I really like from it?
Yeah.
I know people hate this, but you know the pod racing scene?
That was
At the
awesome.
beginning.
No, that's really...
That's Star Wars for me.
Yeah,
A
that...
load of creatures, incredible pods that go super fast.
Yeah, and
can
also,
turn
that
around
was...
at any point.
Yeah, that
And
was also... It was 1999, and it looks... Still to this day, it looks good. Like, the CGI is very, very good.
I'd say it's okay.
No, I mean, like...
It holds up.
It looks like a mid-budget sci-fi movie right now. Like, it looks... Yeah, it holds up fine.
Sort of.
It doesn't... Like...
Yeah.
Because when you think 90s CGI, you usually think something horrible, like, I don't know, Blade 1. Like, the CGI moments there.
Blade was fun.
The CGI. I don't know other prequels. Does their CGI hold up? I feel like the more... Like I feel like Phantom Menace has the best CGI out of the three of them. I don't know that's why.
No.
I just remember it.
No
No way?
No, I don't think so. Because you remember the Clone Wars?
Oh, that looked amazing. That
That
still looks
really
good.
Yeah.
That's our history with Star Wars, everybody. Best segment of all time. Woo! Anyway, now let's talk about the prequels since we're already talking about them. What is your favorite out of the three?
Can I just...
You don't have to hold something at all times.
I'll just go and get my phone. I need...
Research.
Yes. It's currently 16:20, which is 4:20 p.m.
420, baby.
You're such a drug addict.
Me?
Yep.
Okay. So Phantom Menace is apparently horrible. I haven't seen it in a while.
I hate it. I literally... It starts off quite well. Introduces Anakin in quite a good way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. He's a pod racer, everything thanks to Force, whatever. And then it goes, after the pod race, from being quite alright to being horrible.
How so?
I only love the Darth Maul fight with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
That was awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I like that, but nothing else is really
Well, the movie
that good.
made a crap ton of money. Because...
It made $1 billion.
$1 billion.
I believe it was the first movie that made $1 billion.
No. Titanic. Just before it.
Oh, yeah.
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 Anyway. But, so yeah, the movie made a crap ton of money, and one thing that my parents told me was, like, it was huge. The hype that was for Force Awakens was also, like, it was...
Yeah.
This was as huge. Yeah. That was a bit annoying. Anyway, this was as huge, and when people saw it and everybody was disappointed, like, I can't imagine that feeling. I wasn't born then, but that must have been crazy, right? Being disappointed in a Star Wars movie. Stop making weird noises.
Okay. Is it though? Is it though? I mean, I think like this Force Awakens, not that good. It's fine.
We'll talk about
you know?
it. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
No, I'm just. It's a comparison. It's pretty fine, and the hype for it was insane.
Insane, yeah.
And it was less than the 1999 because that was 20 years.
Yeah.
But still, it was huge, and it wasn't. And everyone loved it at first.
Yeah.
Even though it's just fine. And I think that's what happened there. I think everyone loved it at first, just because they get to experience Star Wars.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, everything, both Rogue One and Force Awakens was like that. The hype was huge, and then first week or two of the release of the movie, people loved it, and then you start seeing these comments on the internet explaining the loopholes, the holes, like, the bad character development and stuff, like bad character
Rogue
decisions.
One was less hype purely because
it wasn't episode
there wasn't
9.
that much.
Yeah, but I was really hyped. Like, I think I was more excited for Rogue One than I was for Force Awakens. I don't know why. I just...
Yeah, and it's definitely better.
Oh, yeah.
Rogue
We'll get into them later, but this was just... I think that's crazy. I couldn't imagine how disappointed I would be. But then we have episode 2 and 3. Now, I remember mostly episode 2.
You know what the also problem was when in the first one? The overuse of CGI, even though it was not that good. It was in everything. They basically threw away practical effects just because they could do everything CGI.
Yes, but also I've seen a lot of that online, like people complaining of how much CGI is there. There was actually apparently a lot of practical effects. But I feel like, you know what, like George Lucas, like in the 80s and the 90s, he started re-releasing Star Wars episodes with the CGI. So I feel like he wanted to go all in this time. He didn't want to screw up like how the movie looks with the CGI. But also, did you see that whole thing with Yoda being a CGI thing, and then and George Lucas said the trick is to make the CGI Yoda look like a puppet. So what's the point of spending millions of dollars on a CGI Yoda if you want him to look like a $10 puppet? It's just, but the thing is, Yoda looks in 2 and 3. I loved Yoda. In episode 1,
I preferred him in the original trilogy.
The original trilogy? He doesn't do anything in the original trilogy.
Yeah, but he just appears there, and he's this mysterious puppet guy that is a really good teacher and everything. And now you change him basically.
Yeah, but episode 1 looked awful. Like the puppet. Do you remember that? It looked scary as hell. It was just terrifying. Like, it was really, really bad. And then episode 2 and 3, because he had to do so many fight scenes.
I didn't really.
You don't remember?
I don't really remember it.
Go check it out. It looks terrible. But then episode 2 and 3, he looks really good, and because he has to do so many fight scenes with, what was it? He fought with what's his name? Count Dooku, right?
Yeah.
And then
Dooku.
Count Douche. Am I right? Am I right, baby?
See, I prefer this look. No. He looks more realistic.
He looks so he looks so much better with CGI. Because with CGI, he actually looks good. This is
CGI model from 2011.
Yeah, they re-released this as well, but
look at this face.
Look how ugly that look. He looks terrifying here.
Yeah, but he looks realistic.
He does not.
He does.
Do you know how his lips move?
Certainly.
You know how his lips move?
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's horrific. It's horrendous. And then I really liked him in the.
What the hell is this? This is amazing. Oh, I wish there's a movie with this.
Oh,
just re-release it and put Yoda like this in. Actually, make everyone look like this.
Yes,
everybody person in the Star Wars,
like
everything in the Star Wars universe.
Like a shit-colored CGI mess of a puppet.
Can you imagine this Jabba the Hutt puppet?
Oh God.
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. Hey, we watched The New Hope yesterday. Did you...